Good afternoon. I'm Steve Witt, and I'm the CEO of OptiEnz-Sensors. All of us care tremendously about water, managing that incredibly valuable resource and wanting to know what's in it. And that's what OptiEnz is all about, telling you what's in your water. We were surprised to have this article come out in Forbes for two reasons. One, we knew it was a big market, but $600 billion in this sector is just enormous. And the other is to be recognized as one of the startups. We're just a small company from Fort Collins getting going in this industry. I want to give you an example to show you what our product is about. Everyone has a thermostat in their house. It measures temperature continuously and then adjusts the air conditioning and the heating in your home. Well, what if it didn't work that way? What if instead you had to have a trained technician come into your home? That person used a scientific piece of instrumentation to make measurements, to take air samples and send those out to a laboratory, and then you got the results a week later, and then you could adjust the heating and cooling. Well, that'd be absolutely ridiculous. But that does go on in the water space, where continuous measuring and monitoring doesn't take place. If you've got chemicals like benzene, a carcinogenic solvent in your water, you want to know about that. And that's a big deal in businesses like oil and gas, where those chemicals are present in the water that is used for fracking and the water that comes back up out of these wells. There's almost 1 trillion gallons of water that's treated. So think about us as a thermostat. What we're doing is measuring organic chemicals such as methanol and benzene, and we're doing that continuously and giving you real-time results. You go into a water treatment facility that is used to remove these types of chemicals. They want to measure every step in the process to make sure a chemical like benzene is properly being removed, and they want continuous sensors to do that. They want to be able to discharge water back for agricultural use, for discharge into streams and rivers, as well as for drinking water. This isn't the only industry that cares about measuring organic chemicals. Another very large one is biopharmaceuticals, where fermenting processes take place, much like they do in the brewing industry. And they want to measure continuously in those processes. The FDA has an initiative in place where they ask for continuous online measurements in order to make sure these processes are running properly to ensure safe drugs. So the FDA is asking for this, companies are implementing it, and OptiEnz is providing that type of solution. This is an example of small-scale test reactors where our sensors actually go directly into these fermentation processes. They can also go into production-scale facilities and go directly into stainless steel vessels that are being used. Today, in both of these industries, our customers are flying blind. They send samples out to laboratories. In that laboratory, a trained technician uses an expensive piece of equipment, a $100,000 gas chromatograph, and gets results back hours, days, a week later. So there's no continuous monitoring going on in that situation, no real-time decisions. I've talked with a tremendous number of customers since joining OptiEnz, and I get about 1 minute into my value proposition, and they take over for me. They start telling me the value that continuous monitoring is going to bring them. Customers really want this. And the way we do this, the way we implement it, is we take simple fiber optic cables, and we put enzymes on the tip of those cables. And an enzyme is something that's prevalent. It's in our guts, it's in supplements, it's in laundry detergent, it removes stains, it's in glucose meters that diabetics use to measure their blood. What we do is we take a simple fiber optic cable and coat the end of it with an enzyme, and that enzyme reacts with the chemical being measured. We send light down that fiber optic cable with this little device, and that chemical reaction changes the light. And from that, we're able to continuously measure and tell you that, for example, you've got 5 parts per million of benzene in your water, and that's something you definitely want to know about. Our product will send data out to a computer for analysis, send it into a control system to control industrial processes, or it can be used to flag alerts that are happening. Our business model is pretty straightforward. It's to sell these products for $5,500. We're investigating lease and service businesses as well. And then it's a printer cartridge model for the sensor tip. They last about a month and they sell for about $100 to $500 a piece. There's competition out there. It's primarily that instrumentation that's used in a lab that does not provide the continuous data. We're really a complement to everybody that's on there, in fact. We're a spin-out of Colorado State University. It came through their tech transfer office. We have 8 patents in place, and we're filing more. They're all based on that sensor tip technology. This slide, I wish I could put the logos of the customers that we're working with, because it's an impressive list of customers that are interested in us and customers that we're engaged with trials. Our go-to-market strategy is paid customer trials with these companies, and we're doing that in several different industries. Our exit strategy, and actually this is more of a partnership strategy at this point because we're a complement to the people on here, but we're working with them. They have $50 to $100 million companies in their portfolio that do water quality measuring, and we're a good complement into these. We have a very strong team in place. I have an extensive background in instrumentation, both technical and business, in small companies and bigger companies. Dr. Ken Reardon is our founder and CTO of the company. He's a professor of chemical engineering at Colorado State University, and Jeff Lintz brings the necessary business development expertise. We've raised $2.6 million since I joined the company 2 years ago. 2 points I want to make on this is that 2/3 of that is non-dilutive, coming from grants and customers. And then on that second point, $500,000 coming from customers who are investing in our products. We're raising $500,000 right now and looking at a Series A for next year to expand growth. And what's next for us is bringing products out into the biopharma market this year. We've got a Colorado Advanced Industries grant that's helping us ramp up manufacturing, but that's one of the areas this investment's working in. And then we're developing channel partners. We've got a channel partner lined up for the biopharma space, and we will be working actually with those Fortune 500 companies that I mentioned and rolling out through them as well. And then we will enter the oil and gas market in 2016. If we were to win $250,000 in this blue ocean competition, we would use that to accelerate these products into the market, and more importantly, to engage in more customer partnerships. We're actually limited right now just by the number of people we can apply to the projects, so we've got more customers coming to us at this point than we can handle. Thank you.